When Brett Yormark joined the Big 12 Conference as the commissioner, he stated that the Big 12 was open for business. Since then, they accomplished numerous different tasks that they set out to complete, along with set up goals and plans for the future. We will go over the foundation, those goals and tasks that they did complete, along with what they're looking to do with said foundation. What is their path forward? First, let's introduce Brett Yormark. He became the commissioner of the Big 12 Conference beginning on August 1st of 2022. Yormark has a diverse professional background in the sports and entertainment landscape, holding top business positions at Palace Sports and Entertainment, notably for the Detroit Pistons, Cats Sports, where he sold TV time to Upper Midwest sports teams, NASCAR as the director of corporate marketing, then becoming the VP of corporate marketing, which he then helped negotiate a 10-year, $750 million sponsorship deal with Nextel in 1998. He also worked with Brooklyn Sports and Entertainment, essentially working for the Nets owner, where he helped manage the franchise transition from New Jersey to Brooklyn. From there in 2019, he left the Nets to join Rock Nation as the CEO and president of business ops and strategy, and then most recently joining the Big 12. Throughout that time, you can tell that he has business management experience, strategy experience, and can get deals done. Within 3 months of joining the Big 12, he accomplished one of his goals and foundations that he wanted the Big 12 to set on, as in garnering new media rights with partners ESPN and Fox Sports. They came upon an agreement of a 6-year agreement totaling $2.28 billion, beginning in the 2025-26 season and running through the 2030-31 season. From there, he helped accelerate Texas and Oklahoma's withdrawal from the Big 12 to the SEC. Initially, Texas and Oklahoma were going to join the SEC in 2025. However, all parties agreed that the best case scenario would be 2024, and it was mutually agreed upon, and as Brett Yormark stated, it was in the best interest of the Big 12. With Texas and Oklahoma both leaving, the Big 12 will also receive $100 million combined early exit fees. This is expected to help offset the cost of future revenue earned. Why would the Big 12 and Brett Yormark want to do this? Well, it's going to occur anyway. You might as well help set the foundation early to make sure you can get your plans in place for future growth. Again, strategy. The Big 12 also completed a staff and org redesign. Again, strategy for moving forward. Formed Business Advisory Board. Again, strategy for moving forward. Announced the Big 12 Pro Day along with the NFL. Why is that important? If you have pros coming out of your school, that's a good sign to get new recruits and better recruits. Making sure the Big 12 can be competitive, especially with powerhouses forming in the SEC and the Big 10. The Big 12 also created its first ever Big 12 Business Summit, where marketing and sales leadership staff from each conference member institution focused on key industry topics, best practices, networking, guest speakers, and more. The event was established to create a space for new and existing members to share best practices in an effort to drive business forward. Again, planning for the future and creating strategy and foundations. Brett Yormark even stated, "The insights and strategies discussed during the summit will allow our conference to continue to trailblaze, as well as to build brands and drive revenue." The Big 12 is even going international with Big 12 Mexico. What is Big 12 Mexico? It's the conference's international extension that currently will see Big 12 men's and women's basketball, women's soccer, and baseball games held in Mexico. They will potentially also explore establishing a football bowl game in Monterrey starting in 2026, which would also be the first bowl game ever held in Mexico. Brett Yormark again commented, "Mexico is a natural extension to the Big 12 footprint, and I'm thrilled to introduce Big 12 Mexico as the conference's first ever international presence. Through Big 12 Mexico, our student athletes will have the opportunity to compete in an international setting, and our conference will have the chance to showcase our brand across Mexico." Why is this important? It creates new fans. It spreads your media presence across new fans and locations, lending to bigger potential revenue opportunities and sponsorship opportunities. having an opportunity to compete in an international setting lends well to potentially recruiting better athletes, more diverse athletes. It's also something that other conferences aren't doing. At the current moment, the Big Ten and the SEC are seen as the powerhouse conferences, quote unquote. The Big 12 is looking to stand out. By adding Big 12 Mexico, they are doing that. In a roundabout way, they also are catering to their current demographics. With a lot of fans in the South, a lot of those fans are Latinos and Latinas, and potentially from other countries from Central and South America. Again, building a foundation for the future. They also brought commercial business in-house. They did championship enhancements through entertainment, gained nearly 100,000 new social followers, second most Twitter and Instagram followers of any conference. They also have held an event at historic Rucker Park and have connected with leaders on Capitol Hill. That's what they've done only in the last year. Hey you, yes you, are you one of the 99% of viewers that are not subscribed to our channel? If so, scroll down and hit the subscribe button. When you're down there, be sure to also like this video. Now let's get back to this video. So what are they going to do moving forward? Well, some of the items that we just mentioned are obviously going to be continuing and put in place moving forward. The key strategy and positioning piece that the Big 12 has to think about is potential expansion. And we've talked about this once in a different video about potential basketball expansion for the Big 12, as Brett Yormark is keen on becoming the best basketball conference in the NCAA. He thinks they are one of the best, and he wants to double down, making it the premier basketball league currently. You can watch that video. It's linked down below in the comments, and it should be linked somewhere on the screen right now. And it's going to be linked at the end of the video as well. But further expansion from that is just general schools, bringing schools in that might fit well. We won't go too much in depth here in terms of which schools, as that will be saved for a different video, which again will be linked at the end of the video and in the comment section when it is completed and posted to our channel. But what they're looking for is potentially a coast-to-coast conference, which currently the Big Ten kind of has when USC and UCLA join the Big Ten. Granted, they are missing a portion of the mountain countryside with having no teams. The Big 12 would be or could become the first real coast-to-coast conference. For this upcoming year, they're going to have 14 teams, but when Texas and Oklahoma leave, they will have 12. To compete against the Big Ten, they might add 4 more for football and potentially more after that if the Big Ten and SEC continue to grow. And again, they might have basketball-only teams as well, which might push that number to, say, 20, 24. In terms of location-wise, with the addition of Central Florida, they span from the east to Mountain Range. Obviously, Central Florida is in Florida. They have West Virginia, which is kind of on the east coast. It's on the eastern side of the country. The main portion of their teams are in the middle of the country, besides Cincinnati. And then they got BYU in the mountain side. They are potentially looking at different teams on the west coast and east coast to add that coast-to-coast layer. Again, which teams and why will be explained in a different video. And if it's already posted, should be linked below. As Brett Yormark stated, the Big 12 is open for business. Why is this crucial? At one point in time, it was thought that the Big 12 was going to get picked apart and explode or implode and cease to exist. More currently, that conference that seems like it's going to happen to is the Pac-12. The two solidified conferences at this time are the Big Ten and the SEC. Being open for business and changing for the future is what the Big 12 is currently doing. And if they do it right and if they do it correctly, they could become the top 3 in terms of conferences and could potentially become coast to coast. It should be interesting to see what happens. And if something does occur down the line, let us know down in the comments to make sure those that watch in the future are up to date. We'd love to know your thoughts on where the Big 12 will continue to go and where they're headed. If you enjoyed this video, please like below. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.